It's Saturday, June 13th, and it's time again to look at the week's sales for manga. The manga market analysis, as it were. Really, I can sum it up in two words. One Piece. There you go. I just want to show you what I saw when I looked at the sales yesterday. And you're going to see a trend here. It's like everything is One Piece, different volumes, BGS 9.8 with Obi, going for good money. And the first thought occurred to me, somebody's going for the 9.8 run. Like they want to have the entire collection in the 9.8. So yeah, on the Japanese side, there was a ton of One Piece. On the English side, it was really interesting. There wasn't really any BGS big books this week in English, but there was some big sales for hard to find books, basically, right? So some surprising numbers, to be sure. But let's put up the top 10 and we'll talk about that here. So at number 1, June 10th, One Piece 104 in a BGS 9.9 with the Obi went for $13,000. I'm going to bring up the census data here for One Piece 104. You can actually see there are 5 BGS 9.9, and there's 538 submitted. Of those, 220 are 9.8. It is one of the most heavily submitted volumes there are. All right, let's jump into our number 2 spot here, and oh, surprise, surprise, it's One Piece. Volume 100, this time another BGS 9.9 with Obi. They were asking $15,000 for this. They took $12,000. So let's bring up the census here for volume 100 as well. Only 83 submitted this time. There's 3 of them in a 9.9 and 37 in a 9.8. All right, continuing on with our countdown. One Piece Volume 1 this time in a BGS 8, $6,054. Here's one that kind of surprised me. Not that it's here, like Kagurabachi, 9.8 with Obi, went for $37.50. What kind of surprised me is when you dig into that sale, yes, it was listed for $5,000, but the dust jacket is an 8.5. If it's a 9.8 and a 9.6 dust jacket, I can see the $37.50, but I was really surprised to see it go for $37.50 with an 8.5 with the dust jacket. Continuing on, we have Jujutsu Kaisen in a BGS 9.6 with Obi, $22.33. Another One Piece, Volume 1, 7.5, $21.25. At number 7, this is interesting. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, or Soso no Frieren, 9.8 Obi, $2,100. These 9.8 Frierens are incredibly in a tight range. Like they all seem to go for about $2,000 there and about. So the Sailor Moon at number 8, that's in good shape for a BGS 9 for a book that old. That's good. Again, that went for $2,000 as well. At number 9, huge surprise, One Piece 104. This time it's only a BGS 9.8. And like I said, there are a lot of 9.8s for 104 out there. Went for $2,000. And finally, rounding out the top 10 for the Japanese side, Vinland Saga, 9.4 with Obi, went for $1,950. Now there's something very cool about this book, and what's cool is if we look at the sale, this is the original cover. They rebranded into the much more familiar Vinland Saga Book 1 cover as shown here. So having this one in the 9.4 with the old cover, yeah, that's a premium, all right. Okay, that's it for the Japanese manga. I'm going to get into the English manga now, and again, no BGS sales, but there was some like I had not seen before on this list, so it kind of surprised me. So let's start off with one of those. This was, I don't know how to say it, like whether it's Bitax or Betix or something like that, but it's volume 12 of the English manga, sold for $400. And this is not slab, this is just a straight out manga book. The next one, actually, astounded me. Like, we've seen the Bacano go for big bucks. These are the light novels. This is Bacano Volume 6. And it literally did, I had to verify it. There's $779.99. That is insane for a light novel. These ones are no stranger to the list. This is Basra Volume 18, $230. And speaking of Basra, here's the one that always goes for huge money. This one sold on June 11th. Basra Volume 20, $800. And finally, to round off that Basra list, this is Basra Volume 25 this time, $250. I've had a couple of these ones on before, but not this particular volume. This is GTO The Early Years, Volume 15, went for $260. People who watch my other videos, where I'm a dirty manga flipper, know that I sold Gunslinger Girl 1314, not quite for this much money, but yeah, these late volumes of Gunslinger Girl are worth a lot. So this is Gunslinger Girl Volume 15, $150. I admit, I found this one funny. It's Inside the Tentacle Cave, Volume 2, sealed, $150. Here's another light novel. This time it's The Irregular at Magic High School, Volume 8, $198. This is a fun little series. This is a Lucky Star, Volume 8, the manga. Basically went for $150. This manga is old school from way back when. Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac, Volume 12. They were asking $300, but they took an offer for $255. We've got another Saint Seiya, Knights of the Zodiac, this time Volume 16, asking $250, and they accepted $213. This is another new one for me. The Summer You Were There, Volume 4. $173. I'd never even seen this one before. So again, a newcomer to the list. This is World End, What You Do at the End of the World. Another light novel, Volume 5. They were asking $700 and they wound up taking $400 for this. And if you think that's a one-off, there was actually another sale. Same book. This time they just straight out sold it for $400. This one was kind of cool to me. This is that big batch of shonen that Viz put out in 2003. This is a first printing of that. That's Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 1, first print, English, went for $120. I would imagine this one will probably be heading off to Beckett. Another one that Viz did, they did at the same time, they did like 1 in 5,000 holographic editions. I'm not sure which number this is out of 5,000 because it is in really rough shape. But it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Still, $350. That's pretty good. And finally, rounding off the English manga is Zatch Bell, Volume 25, went for $400. So that's basically it for this week. Sorry I'm not doing the Zashi. It's just a lot of research and things are getting pretty hectic right now. But if anybody ever has a sale they want me to showcase or anything like that, please let me know. Sometimes I miss things. I'm only human. But if you had like a high-priced sale, odds are I probably saw it and just didn't include it. So always happy to showcase any sales from viewers of the channels like that. So, but yeah, it's I guess the trend of this week is just, it really looked to me like somebody was going for a One Piece run of 9.8, and there do exist. Volume 2 has, let's bring up that census. So Volume 2 of One Piece first print has 4 9.8. And Volume 3 of One Piece actually has 6 and a 9.8. So, I mean, the hard one to get, of course, is Volume 1, because only 2 exist. But, I mean, it is a possibility to have a complete run of One Piece in 9.8. It would probably cost you, I don't know, $300,000 or something like that. But, yeah, you could do it. Anyways, yeah, it was a One Piece week on the Japanese side by far. So, but the English side was really cool. It was really neat to see some of those new books and going for big money. Basra, of course, is always a big one. But that Bakano, just wow, couldn't believe that. huge sale. Like I said before, I do have more manga on the way. I don't know how quickly these next ones will arrive, but they'll be pretty cool when they do. And yeah, and then eventually off to Beckett they go. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.